when I was
a little lad who
Yeah,
loves
berries and cream,
Sorry,
berries.
I don't know. Just
do the little lad dance. So, we're trying something new. We want to make more original content for YouTube, other than just exporting our stuff from Twitch. So today, I'm going to try and convince my girlfriend Ronnie, who is streaming with me every single time over on Twitch, to play one of my favorite games and earliest memories, which is Dragon Quest III. So, before we do anything, what do you think my chance of convincing you to play Dragon Quest III is?
I mean, I don't want to dishearten you, but just, going in, I'm not a huge fan of the Dragon Quest franchise. Not because I don't think it's good or anything, I just have never really played them, besides that one that we played together.
Well,
and
you played 11, and you played Builders 2.
Yeah, but that was like a knockoff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was by the same people, but anyway, I just, don't really have any drive to play them, so...
Well, I'm gonna try and convince her, because the HD 2D remake is coming out at some mythical point in the future. They have not given us a date. But I recently replayed 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm in the middle of 5. And I'm trying to beat all of the main entry. So, I'm gonna attempt to convince you to try 3 without spoiling 3 too much, but by giving you the background of 1 and 2, and you've played 11. Because 1, 2, and 3 are a trilogy called the Erdrick Trilogy.
I don't think it's gonna work, but maybe you'll convince somebody.
Yeah, maybe the viewer will want to play Dragon Quest 3.
Maybe.
It is a piece of video game history. It's one of the biggest franchises ever. It's influenced Pokemon and Final Fantasy, which are games that you like. Which is why it doesn't make any sense. Well, you've never played the older Final Fantasies either.
Yeah, I never played the older Final Fantasy. They just didn't cross my gaming experience. I guess I never came across them. So
yeah. But anyways, Dragon Quest 3 is my favorite Dragon Quest. When I was
a little lad who loves
berries and cream.
Sorry, I don't know. Just
do the little lad dance. I had a yellow Game Boy Color. I still have it, and when I was looking up yellow Game Boy Colors to make this video, some of them are selling for $3,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think I had the green or the turquoise one, whatever that color was officially.
I have yellow and pink. But, I still have that at home. I have my PS1, I got my GameCube, and when we finally have, an actual office space, I want to, make a wall with all of our old systems.
Our relics.
Yeah.
From time past.
Yeah. My earliest memories of gaming are Pokemon Red, which I think was the first video game I ever beat by myself.
Yeah, Red, yeah.
Dragon Quest III, which at the time in America was called Dragon Warrior, because apparently there was a tabletop game when it came out, which I think was 88. Because I got the Game Boy Color remake. But it was called Dragon Quest in America. And I was kind of want to find that and see what that was like. Is it
tabletop?
Yeah, it's a straight tabletop game.
Interesting.
And Quest for Glory, which you recently played as well.
I did play through those.
So I have a deep-seated passion for late 80s, early 90s retro games.
Things with the word quest in it, very appealing to you. No.
I think as a 7-year-old boy, anything that said quest was I'm fucking in.
Even though that one wasn't called Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Actually, kind of wrote a mini little spiel about that will come up.
Oh boy.
For me, it's nostalgia, why I want to replay this HD 2D remake. There's a piece of music in Dragon Quest 3 that I love called Ramia's Flight. It brings me back immediately to driving back from wherever I was going with my parents. And at the time,
playing the little Game Boy.
In the backseat.
In the backseat, yeah.
And I don't remember if this is actually true, but I remember in the early Dragon Quest when you cross bridges, that is the difficulty spiking. It goes up every time you cross a bridge.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't really understand the mechanics of Dragon Quest at the time, because it's a really math-heavy game. It's not like Pokemon, where Pokemon is water beats fire, fire beats grass. And I was also thinking, Pokemon made sense because it overlapped with school stuff where you were learning about conductivity. Electricity does not affect the rock as well as it affects the human. So the type advantages in Pokemon made more sense to a kid. But in Dragon Quest, you're raw stats, some type stuff, you can get armor that helps against shields and whatever. or against Dragon Breath and everything. But like most of the time, it's raw stats. So I just like brute forced this game as a kid. Like I just picked up the game and just killed things until I leveled up one time, and then tried to kill whatever I was stuck on. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Good strategy.
Yeah, like
solid, solid strategy.
But like, I think that's like when you're a kid and you have nothing else to worry about. You can just sit there and like click A forever. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't got anything else to do today. Besides eat some cookies or something.
Yeah, Mom, I want my grilled cheese with the crust cut off.
The good old days.
But another part of what I really like about Dragon Quest, and I think you experience this a little bit, is how they set up the world. Is like they try to include all these different ethnicities and everything. Like Sylvando's clearly Italian. Like they also give them dialects. And, like, even the monsters have dialects. Like, the slimes always go slurp. And they call you, like, a gooman.
Yeah. The slime language.
Yeah.
Slime speak.
What they do in Dragon Quest games that I like, and I think it's it's a different style of gameplay than, like, you're used to, where it's, like, open world, full exploration. Like, Dragon Quest is kind of like that, but you're just gonna get fucking stomped if you go to the wrong place too early, you know? But, like, you start off on your quest, whatever your quest is in the game, and you travel to the first village, and you get there, and there's some kind of problem there, and you get introduced to all these people. Sometimes someone joins your party there, but you, like, really know the village, and you help everyone there, and you get some kind of payoff from helping people there, and it's like a little episode. And then when you beat that, there would be like, hey, there's, like, another village to the north, and then you travel there, you level up along the way. Like, basically traveling around the world and learning how this world works before you go fight the big bad. It's not just, like, a stepping stone, it's, like, also a major point along the way to, like, your story of being, like, a renowned hero in the land. Thinking about it, you know, like, kids, you're smaller, and as far as you can go from your home is, like, wherever your parents will let you go on foot, or as far as you could walk. Especially in the 90s. Being able to play a game where you could, like, go off on a journey, and it was like you were traveling with your friends, camping, like, helping people, felt like really being able to, like, travel. Which is part of the reason I liked it. It kind of feels, it's like escapism, but also, like, freedom.
I'm just sitting here thinking about how in Dragon Quest XI, we had that girl from our hometown that they kept trying to, like, bring back into the story and be like, but you, like, really liked her, right? And I'm like, I literally only saw her for, like, 5 minutes of the game. Like,
Well, and that's one of the things, like, I think it's something you dislike, but also a lot of people like about Dragon Quest games. You get, like, you pay $60 for a Dragon Quest game, but you get $60 of game minimum.
It's a lot. Like, it's so long.
Yeah. Moving forward, so just, like, the general plots of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I go way more in depth than 1, because 2 is honestly the hardest game I've ever played.
I remember when you were replaying that one.
Yeah,
I didn't play it with you, but I remember.
In 1, there's a kingdom called Alfgard, and it's been, like, shrouded in darkness. Essentially, this person called the Dragon Lord has stolen a, like, magical item that the hero Erdrick in, like, time long past brought that wards off monsters and also, like, illuminates the land. Then the Dragon Lord also comes back later and kidnaps the princess.
Dragon Lord.
So you start off as the main character after Erdrick has come back and volunteered to try and stop the Dragon Lord, and he disappears. And the kingdom is like shrouded in darkness. You are, you know, just stepping up to the plate, and, like, many heroes have, like, failed before you. You know, go on this journey throughout the kingdom, and you have to collect all these items, orbs, that make a magical, so once again, it's Akira Toriyama.
Dragon Balls, if you will, right?
But they make a magical rainbow drop. And the rainbow drop builds a bridge to the Dragon Lord's keep, which can only be reached by doing that. So, you travel through all of, like, Alfgard, you help everyone, you become, you know, you collect Erdrick's, like, sword and shield and all that stuff, and the Dragon Lord gives you an option at the end of the game, and you can either choose to join him or fight him. And in the older games, if you joined him, it actually froze your game.
Oh.
Yeah.
End of time.
And then if you, in the later games, you would wake up in bed and be like, that was a weird nightmare. And then you'd have to go back and talk to him again.
Oh.
The Dragon Quest Builders games actually take place on spin-off timelines where, like, you said yes to him. So, like, you know, you defeat him, and the king, you save the princess. And it's actually really funny, because I actually wish I had this in Dragon Quest V. You have to go to church, and the priests will tell you, like, how much XP your characters need to level up. In 1, when you save the princess, she gives you her love, and it's an actual item in your inventory. And you can, like, talk to her, and she'll be like, hello, my love, you need blah, blah, blah experience to level up, and you can just do that anywhere. That's just not in 5.
Gotcha.
It's just, like, a nice
5 doesn't tell you, like, you can't even see how much experience
you have to go to a church and talk to a priest. And
that's so weird that it doesn't show you.
And that's actually a meme from 1 and 2, because in 1, there's no save point except at the king. You have to go all the way back to the first tower.
Yeah.
The first castle to save. And then in 2, you'll meet these sages around the world, and they'll be like, you can save anywhere nowadays. Isn't technology incredible? And you're like, yeah, thanks, dude. But yeah, so you save the princess, and then you end up, you know, you go back to the king, and he says, like, what, like, you know, you're a great hero. You've done everything. I want to give you my kingdom. And you're like, nah, son, I'm building my own kingdom, and then you leave with your wife.
Damn.
And that's basically, like...
What a power move.
A really loose, short description of Dragon Quest 1.
Uh-huh. Why don't we take the kingdom? Do we not like the king or something?
Nah, he just, like, it's like an honorable trait. Like, he wants to found his own kingdom.
Oh, okay.
But this is what leads into Dragon Quest 2. Because in Dragon Quest 2, the world has kind of expanded, the map is different. What happens is you leave and you found your kingdom, and then you have kids, and your kids leave and they found their own kingdom. So the whole world is kind of like loosely, not like, aside from Alfgard, seems to be made up of your descendants.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in Dragon Quest 2, the plot is that there is a evil wizard named Hargon who has attacked the city of Moonbrook, and the warrior escapes, comes to your
So I actually
kingdom.
remember this guy.
And the king is like, hey son, you're the descendant of Erdrick, so you have to go rally the troops and defeat Hargon. So you set out on this mission, you go find like your cousins and they join you. Your female cousin has been turned into a dog by like an evil curse.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And you go and you defeat Hargon. And when you defeat Hargon, he like sacrifices himself and Malroth gets summoned, and Malroth is just like a powerful demon, and you eventually defeat Malroth. You know, it's more or less a story. The game is hard not because of the battles. Like, the battle system is fairly the same. It's just the map is so big, and you have so much stuff to try and find. And also, on the old ones, they didn't have like the tech to put like names under cities. So sometimes you're looking at a map and you're like, where the hell is
I don't even know where.
city?
Yeah.
You're like, I've been there. I just don't remember how to get back there.
Yeah. We're so spoiled with modern day maps in
Yeah.
video games. To the point where, like, if there's not a map, I'm just like, this is horrible.
Which is
why?
Part of the reason I think that Enix has been remaking them so much is they've been putting quality of life stuff in and getting, like, younger kids back into Dragon Quest, making it, like, accessible. Because, like, 2, if you gave me 2 as, like, a 15-year-old, I would have been like, no, this is not fun. But now, moving forward to what is my favorite Dragon Quest so far, I've only beat 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the final boss of 5 and also 11. So Dragon Quest 3 is actually a prequel to 1. And it takes place, like, many, many years before. But a fiend named Baramos is threatening the world. And your father is this legendary hero named Ortega, and Ortega sets out to defeat Baramos and never comes back.
Ortega? Like the taco?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he never comes back. And the king calls you in, and he's like, hey, you're dead. Do his job, now you gotta do it. So you set off to find Baramos and defeat him. So, you know, you travel around and do all this stuff, and it seems like your dad died fighting near a volcano. Like, they kind of hint at that.
It's pretty badass.
But, you know, you do the typical Dragon Quest thing. You travel all around the world. And I'm kind of brushing over this loosely to not spoil it too much. Except for, like, how it connects. You defeat Baramos, and then you go home to the king, and the king's like, great job. And then the whole world starts shaking. And you're like, what the hell? And you hear a voice, and you find out that Baramos is actually serving an even more powerful being called Zoma, And Zoma rips open a crack in the ground called the Pit of Gaia, and he lives down there. And he's like, I'm gonna come destroy the world.
Here I come, a longy coming.
So you have to jump in that pit and go stop Zoma. And when you jump in the pit, you end up in Alfgard in the first game, which is in darkness. So, Erdrick disappeared. So then you have to go and you essentially free the land from the first darkness that was there and deliver the orb and that, gets stolen at the end of Dragon Quest 1. And so, there's, a whole thing down there, and it's really cool because, the maps are the same. It's kind of like in Pokemon Gold when you go back to Kanto and you can see how things have changed.
Right.
Which is something I'm noticing that I'm liking a lot now, the more I think about early video games. I like when you can see the world change over time.
Yeah.
And the thing that I always thought was, beautifully tragic is when you defeat Zoma, the Pit of Gaia seals up, and you can never go back to Alfgard. I do not know if you have ever if there's ever been another game set in that overworld of Dragon Quest, because all the ones I've played so far take place in that underworld as time progresses.
Right.
Except for 11, which you saw at the end, it's in the storybook, and it connects to Dragon Quest III's beginning.
And there's, the weird time temple.
Yeah.
Where you can, go back in time and stuff. And
so it's very unclear if Dragon Quest 11 is actually a prequel to 3, or just a story they tell kids in the world of Dragon Quest 3. But yeah, I just think it's, super cool, because you can never go back up, and you're, separated from your mother forever.
Yeah, that's sad.
And then, there's a secret boss, I think he's only in the Game Boy Color remake. His name is Zenlon.
The Dragon Ball Dragon.
No, that's Shenron.
wait, what is this one's name? Zenlon and Shenron.
Yeah.
Okay.
They might be related.
Maybe they're cousins or something.
But this one, at least in Dragon Ball, Shenron he tells you, he's like, I can grant you a wish within my power. He can't make you, stronger than he is. Zenlon, when you talk to Zenlon, he's like, alright, beat me and I'll give you a wish. And it gives you 5 options. One of them is so you can play as a woman or a man in Dragon Quest 3. And if you read, there's a sexy book that you can choose to know what's in it. And one will change your character type from, whatever hero or whatever, it'll make you lewd. And if you're a woman, it will make you sexy.
Sexy. Because there's wishes at the end of 11, too. And one of them was reading the sexy book. I don't know if we ever did that, but... Okay, Luna, can you just,
She's love me.
I don't remember. One is you get married to somebody.
Yeah.
And I think you can pick.
Yeah, you can just, pick every single one, because we picked Eric.
Did we pick Eric? Okay. I was did we pick Jade or Eric? I couldn't remember.
I think with Eric, when you
probably picked Eric.
When you ask Eric, though, he's like, and then
he's so honored.
Yeah, but yeah, and there's all these different wishes, but the most important wish is that you can bring your father back to life, and so then your father gets to live with your mother happily ever after, but you're still trapped in this fucking underworld pit, and it's just a really tragic, beautiful, little ending to this trilogy.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of rude of the dragon. You think he could grant you any wish? You could wish for you and your dad to go back, but no.
Well, yeah, and they just don't give you the option.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little rude of the dragon.
But you can get every wish. I think there's 5, but every time you go back to get a wish, the first time you just have to beat him, and then the second time he's like, you gotta beat me in 50 turns, and it's 35 turns, and it gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
Right, yeah.
So you can get every wish, but you gotta be willing to put in the work. And that's kind of the cool. We didn't do much. We did fight Time Worm once in.
Yeah, but then we didn't try again.
But there was no payoff. We don't get a wish or anything from it.
It was just street cred.
It's a competition to see who can kill him the fastest.
Yeah,
because it gives you it's turn based. But yeah, I mean that's just a loose overview of the Dragon Quest Erdrick Trilogy. I think it's more about appreciating the journey that you're on in the game than it is in Final Fantasy, where you're kind of oh, what's the plot? What are these people gonna do? It's just more about going on a really epic adventure that is almost gonna end up 90 to 100% happy at the end every single time.
Not for you though.
Only in 3, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds cool. I still don't know that I would play it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna buy the remake.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
the thing I think you will like more about 3 than you would 1 or 2 is that when you make your team, they have classes, and you get books that can change classes. You can like really modify your team and go real hard on like team building and personalities and stuff. And then on top of that, jesters matter. There's a book that can make you into a sage, which is just the best class. It just is. But the books are hard to find. But if you have a jester is hard to level up because they have like almost no use. But when they reach the right level, they can just become a sage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one thing that really matters about the Dragon Quest games. Will the remake have the Puff Puff in it?
Yeah, that is the real question. I want to know what other people what other people think about Dragon Quest. Do you want to play the remake? Do you want to see more of Luna's tale as she leaves? Maybe Ronnie will play it, or at least we'll play it together probably. But yeah, feel free to leave comments, let us know what you think. Want to hear our opinions on other stuff?
Yeah.
And join us over on Twitch. It'll be in the description.
Yeah.